It was a volatile session for the Dalal Street after trading in the green for majority of the session. Benchmark indices paired gains to close on a flattish note. At close, Sensex was down 2.92 points to end at 61,761 level, while Nifty rose 0.01% to finish at 18,265. Suyash joining us at this point in time. Suyash.
Yes, Shweta, so it was a volatile session for the D Street, and after a 1% rally today, we saw some selling pressure in the market today as investors or traders, we should say, decided to book some profit because of some important data points that are coming over the next week. So now US is set to release its inflation data for the month of April, which will set the tone for the FOMC's upcoming meet. Now some analysts are worried that the inflation will continue to persist in the US, and as a result the Fed will remain stricter for a longer period. However, foreign institutional investors have returned, and they are preventing any sort of a steep correction in the market. So the overall market, as you mentioned, it ended on a flattish note. The broader market also ended on a flattish note. Nifty mid cap was up about 0.04%, and the small cap index ended with a marginal loss of 0.05%. Nifty IT stocks, as we know, which have been under pressure since the muted earnings or Q4 earnings of TCS and Infosys, they were the top gainers today. They rose about 0.73%. Nifty Auto was another one. It was up about 0.47%, and Nifty Pharma gained about 0.42%. On the other side, Nifty PSU banks, they lost the most. It fell about 2.75%. Nifty Realty, Nifty Bank, and Nifty FMCG also ended the day in the red.
Okay. Mankind Pharma made its debut on the bourses today. What was the listing like?
So yes, Mankind had a stellar debut in the market today. It got listed at a price of about 1300, which was a premium of about 20% over the upper band of its IPO price of about 1080 rupees. Now the stock continued to rally throughout the session, and it surged as much as 32% in intraday trade. It touched an intraday high of about 1430 rupees, and it finally closed at 1422, which was up 31.69%. Now the bumper listing of Mankind's IPO was not completely unexpected, because the IPO itself received an overwhelming response from the market, as it was oversubscribed by about 15.32 times.
Okay.
The primarily driving force behind the strong interest were qualified institutional buyers.
That is correct, because retail participation was muted.
Yes, Shweta. So retail participation or the retail book was the only category which was undersubscribed when it comes to Mankind Pharma. It was about 8% lower than the entire quota set aside for them. And we also need to understand that the retail participation has been muted for, almost since the market has been consolidating since 2022 and over the last 15 months or so. And to add to that, the participation or the retail sentiment is generally cautious or pessimistic during this time, because retail investors are generally more risk averse compared to institutional institutions. So they may wait for a market, favorable market conditions to return, or some signs of market recovery, as we are seeing. Actually, the green shoots of recovery are there from the macroeconomic numbers. So they are waiting for some solid indicators to pop up to get back into the market.
What could these solid indicators be?
So good macro numbers, strong earnings. So if you remember, actually, back in 2020, after the initial COVID crash, the market was rallying, and every IPO, regardless of their financials, regardless of whatever the name was, all the IPOs or all the listings were seeing great responses, and retail investors themselves were at the forefront of it. They were lapping up all the stock. So generally what happens is, during a market rally or a bull run, the participation or the investor sentiment is optimistic. They are more optimistic about the market, so they tend to participate more in upcoming equity issues. Whereas during bearish times, they are not too confident about what will transpire in the market, so they tend to generally sit on the sidelines.
Okay. What other stocks made headlines today?
So Shweta, India Bulls real estate plunged about 20% today after the company announced that the merger of Naam Estates Private Limited and Embassy One into the company has been withheld by the Chandigarh bench of NCLT.
Okay.
Another one was UPL. The share closed about 3% lower today after many brokerages cut its earnings target after the firm posted a 43% year-on-year fall in consolidating profit. Now they posted a profit about consolidated profit. About 792 crores, which was much lower than street's expectations of about a 1718 crore profit.
That
Canara Bank,
almost less than half.
yes, almost less than half. Canara Bank was another one which was under pressure today, and the stock dropped about 3%, but this was despite of a good Q4 earnings. Now the lender reported a profit of about 175 crore, which was a 90% higher compared to last year, while the net interest income grew about 23% on a quarter-on-quarter basis.
All right.